All right, let's hear it, Angela. Angela from North Carolina, another state that's working so hard out there.
Okay. So the first question, Heather, is what is our best course of action if the worst happens and we are facing 2025 with leaders and courts determined to break down the pillars that support our democracy?
So I'm so glad somebody started with that because, no, I mean this. And it's funny, I recognize that if you read my letters, you can kind of see the direction I'm going with this. I want to assure you that no matter what happens on November 5th, the sun is going to come up on November 6th and on November 7th and on November 8th. Regardless of what happens, the work that we are doing is going to go on. And the thing that I've seen a lot, people saying, oh, I remember 2016 and how horrible it was and how terrified we were. And many of us remember that as a really bad night. But think of how much better organized we are now. Think of how many more friends we have. Think about the ways in which we have already altered the structure of our democracy. So if the worst happens, you know, I think all of us are going to need to step back a little bit in the end of next week. I will continue to write the letters, but I am going to sleep like nobody has ever slept before. So I think we all need to pull back a little bit. But on the other side of that, what I would urge people to do, regardless of who wins, is to recognize that the work is unfinished. And you cannot do it all yourself. That's overwhelming. You know, one of the things you might notice I rarely write about is climate change. I care so incredibly profound about climate change. But my sister is a climate scientist. I leave that to her. My lane is over here, right? You cannot do it all. Pick what it is that you care about and what your skills match. And if that means that you are arranging flowers for local nursing homes, you do that and you do it the best way you can. If it means you can work with Red, Wine, and Blue, you do that. If it means you're a lawyer who can defend people who are in being incarcerated, you do that. Because if you do what you love, you bring joy to it. And authoritarianism cannot take root in a population that is full of joy. So even just living a life with joy is a form of resistance. Even just waking up and breathing is a form of resistance. So that work is going to carry forward no matter what happens. And, you know, and the other piece of that, of course, is that you look around you and you think, are they really going to stuff all this back into a bottle? I mean, what does that look like? Do you really think that's going to happen? That what we're doing here, people are going to say, oh, never mind, it was a good ride, and now I'm done? I don't think that's going to happen. So when I think about what's coming, I, as I say, think it's a movement, and movements do not win everything all the time, but they push the ball forward, and no matter what happens on November 5th, we have pushed the ball forward, and it's going to continue to go forward. We also know that by 2028, the demographics of the country will have shifted such that the majority that we have now will be a super majority by 2028. So have faith, you know, have faith, joy. If in fact the real worst happens and people's lives are in danger and all the things that could go with that, one of the things that you've probably heard me say before is that nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to be a hero. They wake up in the morning and they say, I got to get to work. Oh, crap, I forgot the laundry. It's got to be washed again. I need to get food on the table for the kids. Oh, my God, I forgot to pay my bills. They get out of bed and they put their feet on the floor. And if they're good people, they do the next right thing. You know, they don't set out to save the world. They just do the next right thing. And for this country not to be destroyed by an authoritarian will just require a majority of us to get up and do the right thing. Help the person next to you. Don't turn in the person that you know is undocumented. You know, help somebody get medical care. Just do the next right thing, even if all that means is keeping your mouth shut. And then out of the midst of us will come the heroes that we need to take America in the directions it should be. So even though everybody's frightened, turn to your friends, turn to what you love, and by God, do the next right thing even when it's hard. Enough of us do that, we'll be okay.